I have the proper direction and guidance, and I show up and I remain consistent, and it's not self-will. Self-will is a scam from your ego. So if that comes in, you should be able to do this on your own. About bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. No, you shouldn't. I haven't done any of this shit on my own. Nothing in my life have I done on my own. Period. And anytime I said I'm going to do it on my own, it didn't work. That's why I don't even bother anymore. There's no point. Let's set ourselves up for success from the beginning. But I'd love to know, what are your two areas? So for accountability, DM it to me. Share this series with anyone who you know is like, you know what? I want my life to be different. I want to feel different. You don't need another diet, a harder workout plan, or more discipline. You need your nervous system back on your side. If your energy is inconsistent, your body feels inflamed or disconnected, and your skin, weight, and motivation no longer respond the way they used to, it's not a willpower issue. It's an identity issue. In this second episode of the 2026 Glow Up Protocol, we are resetting the body at a level where real transformation happens, not through punishment or pressure, but through the internal patterns that decide whether your habits stick or collapse. Today, you're learning how to get your energy, body, and skin snatched in 2026, even if you feel completely burnt out right now. I've got a solution for you because I've fucking done it, baby. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your abundance, your relationships, and everything in between. And may I add, for this episode, your ass getting snatched, your skin glowing, and your energy flowing again. And I know y'all have been waiting for this episode. I must say, aside from any of like my money making episodes and that kind of stuff, this is my most requested topic. Tiff, spill the tea on the skin. Tell us what you've done. We can see that you've timeline jumped. We see the physical representation online. Give it to us. What happened? We know you're going to serve it straight. And so I am. I'm recording this if you're watching on ProjectME TV on YouTube. What's up? Doing a sunset podcast because it's finally not raining here in LA and we're that dramatic. But seriously, though, I think it was raining for 2 weeks. And I was about to lose my damn mind. So if it gets dark, I have ring lights and things on, but you know what? I don't think you guys fucking come here for the aesthetic. Okay. I think you come here to be entertained, to have stuff that you can actually apply to your life and have it worked. And for me to light a fire under your ass. Why else are you here? I would like to know. I think it's important for me to know this. You can DM me on Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany. If you are new to me, welcome to the show. Welcome to the crazy. Welcome to the wackadoo. Welcome to where we serve the shit straight. And just so you know, I spend about an hour to an hour and a half now every single day in my DMs and responding to you. We take any of the topics you're requesting. We put those into a file for episodes. So it's not a bot looking at your stuff and responding. The only thing I use automation for is for when I do a post and it's mini chat and it says like type a word below and I'll send you blank. Like that's automated. But the other responses are me. It's not someone on my team. I take this very seriously. I know a lot of you guys DM really personal stuff. And yeah, like I don't fuck around with that. Cause I remember before I came in the online space and even early on, I would DM people and I couldn't figure out something. I mean, there wasn't AI then. I started mid 2018. And so, Google University, and I was more than happy to pay to learn what I needed to learn. Okay. And like get to what I want to get to faster and not waste any more time because I'd already wasted 10 fucking years fucking around with my excuses, which we'll get into some of that today when it comes to the body stuff. And I would DM people, and not like famous people. Okay. Like even looking back, some of these people had 30 something thousand followers. And I'd go, you know what? I've been trying to figure out how to do blank on Instagram, or how are people, growing like their Facebook pages. Cause that was a thing back then. I said, if you have a offer or way to hire you to learn this, I'm more than happy to pay. And I've done all the research and I can't seem to find anything. Never fucking replied. I mean, I'm talking countless people. And I was like, that is not fucking good, especially when you have someone who's like willing to pay. And even if someone isn't talking about buying something from you, but they're giving feedback on a podcast or something came up for them on an email you wrote or whatever, it's like you can't hold space for your people. It's wild to me. You know, I might not be able to get back to you immediately because sometimes my DMs get crazy, but you will hear back from me. So I thought that was important for the first order of business. I'm going to start out with giving you some straight up facts because you know I serve the receipts here. Otherwise, your ego will come up with some wild story that what I'm about to share with you won't work for you because you're on a loop, and there's nothing better than facts to break that loop of the ego insanity. Your identity shapes you, literally, like shapes your body. And this is what was going on for me. And I didn't know this. So the brain's default mode network, the DMN, is responsible for self-story, your autobiographical memory, and identity. When that network is activated with limiting self-beliefs, low-grade stories on repeat, the body ends up staying in low grade stress. So when you're in a low grade stress constantly, you have cortisol going through your system, the stress hormone constantly. And that's why one of the reasons why you can be so inflamed and puffy and tired and craving sugar. And there's so much that goes along with that. And then it just compounds on itself and it makes you not want to do anything. It makes your joints ache. It makes your muscles feel uncomfortable. You're basically stacking the odds against you. Just so you know, you might not like the tea I'm spilling for you today, but it fucking works. And I have tried it all. Okay. I'm an OG gym rat. I used to subscribe to every fucking fitness magazine under the sun. Who remembers Shape? How about Self? Muscle and Fitness. Oh my God, there were so fucking many. And I would tear out the workouts from the magazines and I would bring it to Gold's Gym and I would follow them Virgo style. I would do 2-a-days. I fucking meal prepped. I brought tuna in a fucking can and almost threw up eating that shit where it wasn't even cold. I tried everything. Then I went when I started making some more money, and then I got like really into that gym rat crowd where people like were injecting each other with steroids and shit. And I injected people too, straight up. Like my longtime like best gay guy friend is like an Adonis. We're not together anymore. My gay husband and I got a divorce, but for many, many years. And it's like injections. So I mean, I'm not throwing shade at it, but that comes with a lot of consequences. And I did the HCG diet. Who remembers that? My ass was so dedicated and so fixated on having my body look a certain way because I thought that if my body looked like the girls on the covers of these magazines, I would be happier. I would find the love of my life. I would be richer. The fucking skies would part because that's also, if you grew up in like my era of the 90s, that is how we were marketed to. And I'm sure other decades were also marketed in this way, where it was just like, it was all about, like that was the whole era of like the supermodel, right? The Victoria's Secret angels. And it's like that skinny was the vibe. It was like skinny and hot, but then you also had to be sexy and nothing I did worked. So I was so dedicated to this HCG diet. And by the way, this was before the diet was like mainstream where you could go to doctors and get it. I did it on the DL. I did it rogue, and therefore it was really expensive. I mean, I think per month at that time it was $400, which probably makes it like $1,000 now. I was traveling all over the place in my corporate job and then in my first business. I'm talking, I was bringing these syringes to Europe and it had to be refrigerated. And you want to talk about hard, is getting a refrigerator in a European hotel room, but that's how insane I was. And then I went another level further, and there's this pill that was only for horses. It was purple. It starts with a C. It's not Klonopin, because I think I think that's a benzo. Getting my drugs mixed up. But it was a metabolism booster for horses. And I put that shit in my body. That is how attached I was. And that's how obsessed I was to, if I look this certain way, then I'm going to get blank. All that was a story. All that was conditioning. And the amount of stress I was putting on my body, just looking at myself, weighing myself, picking myself apart, picking out workouts, 2-a-days, constantly reading about what this person is doing. And then it wasn't working. And then I'd be upset that it wasn't working. And then I would end up, like binge eating junk, and then I'd be mad at myself for it, and then I'd end up starving myself and then trying to work it off, and it was insanity. And I did a lot of shit to my body. No wonder it wasn't working, but there was no one explaining it to me. And quite frankly, what I'm sharing with you today, I was so obsessed. I mean, I truly was an exercise addict. Like, I belonged in a 12-step program for it, that I would not have. I don't know if I could have heard me in this episode of what I'm about to say, which is why I'm sharing facts, because if there's some of you who are still kind of stuck on that, and you've created a story like, well, I guess I have a slow metabolism. I guess this is just how it is because I'm over 40. I guess this is how it is when you have PCOS. I'm a lazy piece of shit. I'm not disciplined enough. Like, I'm not blessed genetically. Whatever fucking story you're coming up with, it starts with the story you're telling yourself. And you're in control of the story you tell yourself. You can change it. The catch is when you've been on a loop and telling yourself the same story, whether it's one of the versions of mine that I had, which was, you end up looking like this on the cover, on the cover of these magazines. That's what's going to get you the promotion. That's what's going to get you the money. That's what's going to get you the amazing partner. That's what's going to get you everything that you want, which really buried below it all was my inner child seeking for my mother's approval, who's anorexic, like my whole life. Underneath all of that, subconsciously, that I had no idea about. And that's why doing any of this identity work, whether it's around money, your body, your brand, your business, your being, doing this on your own, this is not a solo healing thing. Yes, that's a nice start, and you are responsible for the follow through, but you've got to have a highly qualified guide like myself, because you can't see the blind spots. All the stuff I'm sharing with you in this episode, it's not like this just came from divine source and my ass. From my ass. It came from, yes, some epiphanies that I've had, but it truly came from me hiring experts and working with people that were able to see things that I was not able to see, and giving myself the time and space and investing in that. So whatever area of your life you are looking to see exponential growth in and quantum leap in, you've got to be willing to invest in it, time, energy, money, and put it in a top line priority category. You don't get to half-ass it and get full-ass results. You don't get to half-ass it and like lose the weight you want to lose. You don't get to half-ass it and make the money that you want to make in the way you want to make it. It just doesn't work like that. And you continuing to try it is creating the self-fulfilling prophecy, and it's feeding into this old narrative that it's not possible for you. Oh, it's not possible for me. It's possible for her, but it's not possible for me. And why even bother trying anymore? And you're just reinforcing it, because if you really sit there and you're being fucking real, have you truly made whatever area of your life is a true pain point priority of you having a strong identity shift timeline jump in, where you fucking had it and you want this so badly you can taste it and you're willing to do the work for it? Have you ever put it as a true top line priority from a healthy space? What I mean by a healthy space is not what I was doing before as an exercise addict. That's actually out of scarcity. That's out of fear. That's out of a toxic story. I have to have this. I have to, if I don't get this, if I don't look like this, I need this to work. If I don't have this, then I'm not going to get that. that just creates more stress in your body. That's not what I'm talking about. That just regulates the fuck out of your nervous system. What I'm talking about is I want to feel at home in my body again. I want to be able to put on clothes and I feel really proud of me. And I look in the mirror and I recognize me and I feel vibrant and I feel alive again. And I have that zest of life back and I can see all of the work that I've done. It is showing not just internally, but it's showing externally. And the why is so important. And I don't mean like the cliche why. Hold on, the popo's here. Why is the popo at the corner at the beach? Hold, please. What's going on? Okay, we're okay. There's, I'm telling you, there's always something bizarre happening down here. There's something about where I can't, obviously, I'm not going to tell you what corner I live on. There's something about this corner. It's wild. It's also entertaining, but there's always something going on, and it's usually really fucking weird. Anyway, sorry, we interrupt this program for the police. I'm so glad that you. Why do you guys listen to this show? Sometimes I don't even know because I'm unwell in the mind and all, and I think all in the best ways. So your brain literally holds your story. And that story dictates your stress chemicals. So when the self story is outdated, your nervous system stays in that low grade crisis mode. It doesn't like where it's at. Think of how many times a day you say to yourself, oh, I feel puffy. Oh, I feel tired. My skin looks like shit. I feel old. I want to look like this. I wish I could look like that. I need to do this. How many times, if you were to guess, I bet, and whatever it is, times it by thousands and then compound it with what your nervous system is saying, but also your subconscious is saying to you as well. Because we have something insane like 33,000 thoughts a day. And if you're an overthinker, overanalyzer like me, we have way more than that. We have 99,000 a day. And you are just driving that nail in, driving it in. I know I did it. And one of the things that I was doing when we fast forward to my recent glow up, because I know that's what a lot of you are referring to, I yo-yoed my whole life. I knew I had, at a certain point, I knew I had PCOS because someone finally diagnosed me. But I didn't know that for a long time. I had no idea, even when I crashed out and got so sick that I had to take my first business down to almost nothing in order to prioritize my health. I don't want that for you. You don't want to have to wait until the ship is totally sinking, because now to get your ship back rolling and grooving again, oh, it's so much work. It's better to course correct it. And some of you are close to a sinking ship listening to this. And we've got to right size it. So whatever it is for you that you want to prioritize, truly, I want you only focusing on two areas of your life when you're listening to this Glow Up series. So if it's your business and it's your body, that's great. If it's two other things, that's also great. But you can't, that's a setup for you to try to focus on all the different things. That'll be another setup. And one of the things that you've done, and it's been innocent, you've been programmed with so much messaging that you've created this narrative for yourself, and the story has to go. Let it fucking go. Fuck this. Let the story go. And what will help you with this is my New Year's gift for you. It's my Walk into Wealth series and guided wealth journal. And while, yes, there's a lot in there about wealth, but how I talk about wealth isn't just money. It's wealth of health, wealth of mind, wealth of support, wealth of environment, and also wealth of, hard cash. Okay. And it is going to help you release your old stories, your old identity, and step into the new in such a beautiful way. It's designed to do over the course of 7 days, but you can go to projectmewithtiffany.com/wealthy. You can swipe up. That link is inside the show notes. It's also in the description here on YouTube. And that would be a beautiful pairing with this episode. Plus, it's my guided walking manifestation series. So you're regulating your nervous system, you're releasing your old stories, you're installing new stories, and you're moving your body. So my fellow multitaskers, you're getting a quad. And if it's sunny where you're at, you're getting some sunlight and fresh air. Okay? Getting those steps in, baby. So stress ages you at a cellular level. We kind of know this, but I want to make a clear point. Chronic psychological stress is linked to you being and feeling way older than you are. And I know that a lot of you and my fellow trauma survivors, or you've gone through like a hellish period. Maybe it was 2025 for you, and I'm laughing because 2025 was hellish for me. And you are in that psychological stress, it affects your hormones. It affects you on a cellular level. That's why ultimately your exterior physical glow up is an inside job. That's the part that I know you really don't like to hear. You're focused on the outside. I've got to do more steps. I've got to eat boiled eggs. I need to work out more. I need to cut the sugar. And I'm not saying there isn't a calories in, calories out thing. Okay, there is. But you know what? I did the calories in, calories out. I did all that shit for most all of my life. And all I fucking did was yo-yo. And I was yo-yoing because when I would have that chronic psychological stress, I had chronic stress in my body, and you're constantly fighting against it. And then I'd get so envious because I would have friends or I would see people who are so skinty and they seemingly could eat whatever they wanted. And I was like, what in the hell is wrong with me? And I guess they're just blessed genetically. And I guess this is, I just need to then the body positivity came in. Well, just accept yourself as you are. Well, I wasn't happy where I was at. And honestly, that body positivity thing, it can be a shim sham, because that would be like the corporate game. Well, you should just be happy that you have a 6-figure corporate job and you have benefits. You shouldn't want any more. You should just be grateful. It's like you should be happy that your body's healthy and it's not riddled with cancer, and that you wake up every morning even though you don't like how you're feeling in your body. And you just need to embrace the fat and embrace how you're feeling. It's like, no, fuck that. I want you to feel good. We deserve to feel good. And that was the first order of business that started. This is a 1.5-year glow up, by the way, which interestingly enough, and I didn't realize it when I started it, that was the whole prep for my quantum leap. I had no idea. I was shedding, and not weight, okay? Shedding old stories, shedding people, shedding boundaries that were bullshit, shedding expectations on myself and others. I mean, it was that I can see why most people don't do it, but what is on the other side is your quantum jump, and it's fucking worth it. And that's why I don't want you focusing on multiple areas at once. You can do two. And I did money, because Bish loves money, and money pays for this beach behind me. Money pays for lots of things that help me heal, that help me eat healthy, that keep me sane. Things I love to do, luxuriate, and making money in a way where we work less and make more, which is on a special sale for you guys for New Year's. That program is designed to get to the root of your money shit. And I'm talking deep. There's no surface shit in there. It's designed for you to do in 7 days or less, but you get immediate and lifetime access. Some people have to go through it a couple times. Some people take months to do it because they have to process some shit and it comes up. Not where you're like rendered non-functional, but you have to work through resistance. But it's not like, oh, you have 72 modules to do. There's 4 fucking modules, and you get a workbook that goes with it. And it's all guided. And I kept it to where it actually feels fun to do, even when you have stuff that comes up. And there's a reason why hundreds and hundreds of people have had such incredible results. So you can grab that for yourself before the sale ends at projectmewithtiffany.com/special offer. Also inside of the show notes and in the description on YouTube. And while I'm mentioning resources, this will be the last time for my applications for my exclusive 2-month private business coaching program. So you want to take the jet. You want the direct route. That is a priority for you. Money and your business growth, whether you're starting from scratch and you want to get to 10,000, 15,000 a month, or you're an established entrepreneur wanting to scale to the high 6, 7, 8 figures. It's the same application. I work with people at all levels and it's completely customized. We develop your offers. We develop a profitable content plan based on things that feel also good to you, and plus things that are proven to work. We create messaging that has people eager and excited to buy from you instead of you being an option. And the priority is making sure it feels good to you. That doesn't mean there's not going to be things where you're like, oh, I dread doing this today. There's no way around that in any occupation in life, even if you're a famous actor. Okay. It's part of life and you've got to do it. Same with the glow up for the body and the skin. It's just got to be done. And I'll be straight up with you with those things. This has to be done, period, end of story. And you're needing the accountability and the guidance. And, your ChatGPT is not cutting it, honey. And by the way, if ChatGPT made people multi-millionaires, like not the people who actually created it or other AI, but like if that was enough, I wouldn't have the coaches I have. I wouldn't have my therapist. I wouldn't be in fucking business. And neither would a lot of other people. We need a human being. A fucking bot is not going to keep us accountable. It's nice. It's a nice add-on. It's icing on the cake. It's an excellent tool. And we love tools. I always want more tools. Anything that's going to make our lives easier. So you can apply by swiping up, going into the show notes, and please only apply if this is a high priority for you. I only coach 4 people at a time, and it's going to be my highest level offer to work with me because it's completely customized and personalized to you and to your goals, and you're getting the full sauce. So again, we see an application that says like, I'm entering bankruptcy. It's like, why are you applying? Like if you're not going to be able to even get a loan, like I just find some things are just so wild to me. And then I have to shift myself out of judgment because I'm like, obviously some people aren't thinking clearly because they're in a bad spot. And also don't use our applications just to try to like reverse engineer my process. We see you, we know what you're doing, and that's just gross. And it's not necessary. You want to know how to do something, you want to know the sauce, you want to know the way, you want the steps, you want the clear actions, fucking pay for it. And you know why? Because when you pay for it, you show up. You know that the industry standard, whether it is in the fitness category, it's in mindset, it's in business coaching, it's in even the therapy world. And my therapist, I have a lot of therapists listening to the show. You guys are my top tier fellow crazies, all right? A lot of physicians. It's like people only show up and follow through when they pay. And guess who shows up the most? My private clients. Guess, you ask anyone who's done personal training, who shows up? The personal trainers who are training at a high level where you're not like paying them $50. That's who shows up. Who shows up for therapy? Who cancels the most? The people, typically, the people who have, where they have like a $10 in the US, we have things called copays. They have a $15 copay, right? Versus someone who's paying, like I do, straight up cash. And I'm not saying every single person in the world, but it is an absolute marketing fact. And that's why I myself make it a priority to where I am investing chunks of money that make me even slightly uncomfortable, if not a lot uncomfortable, because it forces me to show up. Otherwise, I'll slip back into stories too. I'm no different. I'm a human being. Your body mirrors your beliefs. This is a study that was done on the placebo effect. Just believing you can change has a measurable psychological impact. So, participants in this study, they were told they were getting an active drug and experienced changes in an immune response just from belief alone. And that is that placebo change, like their white blood cell activity. This is part of why manifestation is a real thing and works in neuroscience. And just like you go get Botox, you know that shit's going to work. You just know. You go to turn on a light switch, you know it's going to turn on. Even if I did gave you Ozempic, for example, but it was a placebo in there, and you got injected with the placebo, and you knew what the side effects were and other people experiencing, you'd lose weight, not as much, but you would lose weight just from that. But you can give yourself your own placebo effect by you saying, why wouldn't this work? Of course, this is going to work. I'm doing something different. This is going to work this time, versus what you're saying is, oh, let's see if this works. Nothing works for me. This better work this time. I need this to work this time. That is coming out of fear and scarcity. And that is only keeping your nervous system dysregulated because you're looking for danger. You're looking for the first sign of it not working. You've set your internal algorithm to, oh, it's not working. I haven't lost weight. Oh, my skin still looks like shit. Puffy. I don't feel good. I have no energy. It's not working. It's not working. You just keep reinforcing it's not working. It's not going to work. So you need to make a point of, and I'm sure you've heard some people talk about like non-scale victories, non-scale wins. I'll sometimes talk about like non-monetary wins in your business because there are a lot of them. And when it comes to your body, when I started in July of 2024, okay, is when I started putting the priority on my body glow up. I was at the heaviest that I've ever been in my life. There was nothing that was working for me. I felt so uncomfortable. I didn't recognize myself in the mirror. And it was really more so like I was so uncomfortable. It just didn't feel like I was in my body. I felt like I was held hostage and trapped in there. So I actually hired one of my longtime clients she is a naturopath, to help me with all the internal stuff like my gut and all of that because I had a lot of GI issues and my sugar cravings were insane. I mean, you would have thought I was a Coke addict. And it wasn't like I was binge eating, but I like had to have it. And it was like so exhausting and such a fight, dealing with those cravings. And she warned me, you're going to feel worse before you feel better when we're getting your gut bacteria, in order. And she was damn right. But because I hired her, someone who I trusted, someone who knew what the fuck they were doing, all right, then it helped me with my story and change my story of this is going to work because I'm doing something different with a different person. And I have a different attitude around it. I wasn't like, I need this to work. I can't feel like this anymore. Yeah, there were a lot of days prior to that, but I had a grounded resolve. It was more of the feeling of it's time and I deserve to feel great in my body. I really want you to say that. I deserve to feel great in my body. Some of you have forgotten that part. Some of you are physical trauma survivors, sexual trauma survivors, and to think that that is not an aspect at play here, even emotional trauma survivors, it is a bigger aspect than you realize because you want to know what that weight does. That weight protects us. It's your nervous system. It's your body protecting you. You literally have a cushion to protect you, to hold people off, to not have people come too close. And sadly, in our society, this is facts. And I can speak to this because I'm skinty now. I'm back to being skinty. I forgot it had been so long. You are mm, pretty invisible in a lot of ways. And I don't mean necessarily like in the business world, but you're invisible out in public when you're fluffy. Straight up. You're unless you're someone who's like really, really big and people are like, holy shit, you're invisible. And I kind of liked it that way. And you know when this weight came on? When I went within 6 weeks of starting TikTok, and I think it was like April of 2023. I went mega viral overnight. I'm talking 700 followers to within 72 hours, 150,000, and then 200,000, then 250,000. I kept going viral, 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 viral. People were recognizing me everywhere I went. Podcasts soared to the top of the charts. I mean, it was insane, and it's a beautiful thing. And I was like thrilled and excited and shocked. I thought I wanted it, but I wasn't prepared for it, for being seen at that level. And subconsciously, my body didn't feel safe being seen at that level. And it just started putting on more weight, putting on more weight. That's why no matter what I did, it didn't fucking work. More weight, more weight. I mean, you saw me out and about. I always even wore, I mean, I love comfy clothes. It's a sensory thing for me. I've always been like that, like soft and fluffy things. But I was wearing like oversized hoodies, always had a hat on. I mean, it's funny because I have a hat on now and an oversized sweatshirt, but whatever. Zero fucks given. And I would be walking around like that. And then I'd have a speaking engagement and I'd have to like get it together and wear like adult clothes. And I hated the feeling. Thankfully, I'd done enough inner work that I could show up in my business and for you guys in a genuine conviction and confidence because I am very confident when it comes to money and business and helping you and a lot of the inner work stuff. But I had a story that, well, you can't fucking have it all. You can't feel great in your body too. Well, why the fuck not? And I wasn't making it a priority. And so I came to that season where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired and it was just time. And that's when a lot of you end up applying to work with me privately. You've tried it on your own. You've done the free webinars. You've bought the courses. You've even hired some other people who are little janks, right? Or maybe helped you get to a certain level, but not past then. And a lot of it was self will. You kind of playing cheap, not wanting to take the risk. Maybe I should be able to figure this out myself. I coach people myself. Now I need a coach. What does that mean about me if I need this? And, you know, it, all the stories. And when you're finally sick of it, you get the grounded resolve of, okay, I'm willing to do what it takes. I don't want to live like this anymore. And that's where I was at. And your belief isn't fluff. It changes your immune and hormonal responses. Inner work literally shifts your biology. And that inner child of yours, she's screaming for something. If you're that exhausted and you feel puffy, you've got rage, you've got anger, you've got stored trauma, you've got shit in there that needs to come out. And then there's also things that you need to look at. So, one, I did the full fucking hormone panel. It wasn't my first time. I had total fucking resistance in doing that. Why did I have resistance? Because I did it before when I was really sick and I fucking hated I was here again. I hated it. I resented it. I was mad. I was mad at my body. I was mad at God. And I resisted what was needed. Okay. And usually what we're resisting is the very thing that we need to do, like 99.9% of the time. Okay. And even though I knew that, I was still doing it. And then I was shaming myself for doing it. And it was all messy in there. So did the full hormone thing. We did the all the gut health stuff. All of this took time, and I was not losing any weight or inflammation, and I wasn't getting any energy back all through it. I did the biggest photo shoot I'd ever done for my brand. I invested like 50 grand, and I did it at my fucking heaviest. And you guys see these pictures constantly now, and I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to use the pictures because the essence and the energy in those photos and in those videos, that's genuine. That's still me. And I'm proud of myself. I was able to show up in clean, pure energy and get out of ego, even at my fucking worst. Motherfucking yeah. And that's a testament to the work that I've done. And I'm proud of it. And I don't care. And I know I've gotten a lot of comments like, oh, you look so different now. Aren't you going to get all new pictures? I'll get new pictures when I want to. But I don't have the need or the want at the moment, and we'll be fine. And if you don't like looking at my fluffy pictures, well then, I don't know what to tell you. Go follow like some skinty bitch. Okay? Okay. So cortisol hijacks your skin and your energy. It actually affects your collagen production. So elevated cortisol suppresses your collagen synthesis and it accelerates skin aging and increases inflammation. What is inflammation responsible for? Aging. That's why when you're going through a stressful period, even if you're not eating, even if you are someone who has a great body, you fucking look in the mirror and you just look, your skin looks ruddy and crunchy and pasty. And or for me, if I don't sleep a few nights, it's like I've aged 5 years overnight. It's quite unbelievable. And during this quantum jump that I wasn't aware I was in, I became aware of it and I went, oh, I see what's happening now because I've been through it before. I've coached so many of you through it. In 2025 and 2024, I had no idea. And that whole 6 month or 5, 6 month period, that was mostly all me slowing everything down. No pummeling workouts, walking. I think I did some yoga. I don't even fucking remember. It was all about the inside job. And just so you know, I actually gained weight getting a lot of that gut stuff in order because when you're killing off gut bacteria, you get an inflammatory response a lot of times. And I felt way worse. But thankfully, I knew that was normal. But believe me, I was like, I can't keep going like this. This is rough. And maybe you aren't at a point where you need all of that. I just want you guys to know this wasn't like Tiffany injected fucking trizepatide and this just happened. Okay, that this is the inner work had to happen for any of the tools to work. Just like I tell you in business. You want to be able to use the beautiful tool of AI. I want you to use it. I've coached TIFF AI that we programmed for 2.5 years now. All right. Like I want you to use that tool, but none of it matters if you don't have the foundation. If you're not primed, you're not going to be able to know how to use the fucking tools. And the tools aren't going to be able to be set up to work well. So then I was like, okay, I've done this. We've made sure, internally things are aligned. I started pooping properly again, all of that. And I had a couple really close friends who were on trizepatide. I think the brand name, I don't know if it's Manjaro. I can't remember all the things, but it's, that was like that's like the more modern one to Ozempic. And now there's like a third one out. Okay. And they were having great results. These are people I highly trusted. And I was terrified because of all the side effects I was hearing. And so November of 2024, I think it was near the end, is when I took my first dose, but I microdosed it. And you can really only do that if you get it from like a compounding pharmacy. So when I say microdose, I'm talking I took 1/3 of the like official first starting dose because I did not want that nausea. I was so terrified because there's so many people fear mongering all of the side effects. And I didn't want to do anything to disrupt all the stuff that we'd done on my body. So I started on that very, very slow, very gradual. So it wasn't like I wasn't some rapid responder and all this weight dropped off me. I knew I needed to not do anything that was going to impact my energy and like getting nauseous and constipated. I wanted this to be done the proper and healthy way. And what's proper for me, right, might not be proper for you. Okay. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I'm truly sharing my personal experience. And so I began that journey. I did not really see any weight coming off, like even off of a scale, because I didn't even want to weigh myself, but I really didn't see anything. I saw a little bit in January, but not much, to the point where I was like, I don't know if this drug works for me. I don't want to have to take a higher dose. It was that slow. And it's because I was holding on so tightly for that, wanting to protect myself. And that's what I mean by you can use a tool, you can up a dose, you can hire the trainer, you can have all the things. But if your body ultimately is like, we need to protect ourselves, we're going to be in danger, we need to be on high alert, thing, it might work, but it is going to work very, 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 very slow, and to the point where there were weeks and weeks and weeks, there was no weight loss whatsoever, even though my appetite was suppressed and my food noise and my cravings were down. That's how important that is. So changing your self-identity changes your behavior automatically. Identity-based motivation predicts behavior better than simple goals. Fuck goals. And I know I use the word goals sometimes, but like, fuck them anyway. People who identify as the type of person who acts healthy are much more likely to sustain lifestyle changes than those who rely on willpower alone. That's why I say willpower, that's a scam from your ego. It's just not going to work. Goals are temporary, identity sticks. That's why when you become the type of person who's radiant, the type of person who is willing to do whatever it takes to feel good in your body because you fucking deserve it, the habits fall into place without force. And then you don't have all this protection surging, and you're not putting all this pressure on yourself. The pressure is that's just going to lead you to do other shit. I mean, hello, I was taking illegal horse pills. I don't know how I'm alive, quite frankly, with a lot of the stuff that I've done. I mean, it's really insane. So where's the skin part in all of this? Well, what I didn't realize, and maybe I didn't want to, is how much of, well, especially us in the US, okay, we have a fucking toxic ass food system. And I was eating, because I don't cook, a lot of packaged foods, even like high-end packaged foods. I did not realize how much all of that stuff was further putting stress on my body. And in taking, we'll call it the shot, it allowed me to not be so ravenous, where I could take a beat and be more discerning about what I ate. And I really like wasn't that hungry. And so when you're not that hungry, you can make better choices. Well, I might as well eat this, or I know I need to eat something. It became, I need to eat for nourishment. I need to put protein first. And that was the other thing. Protein first, protein first. I wasn't like, you shouldn't have sugar, you shouldn't have chicken tenders. Fuck that. That doesn't work. We end up rebelling against it. Our inner teenager rebels. No, it was protein first, and you can have the fries, but protein first. You've got a body that you care about. You care about the body, and your skin is your largest organ. So you care about the body that you're in. We've got to prioritize that protein, but you get to have the cookie. So don't take any of that shit away from yourself. I just don't think that that's going to work. It wouldn't work for me, because I don't like to be controlled. I don't like to feel trapped. I'll be the first person to say, like, no, don't put baby in a corner. Don't fuck with me. Hence probably why I'm not married and I've been engaged 3 times. Okay. It's like, I don't like anything that makes me feel confined. And you rebel against it, it's not going to work. So when I was able to make better choices for foods and really looked at it from like a nourishment standpoint, instead of being like, I'm craving this, I want this, door dashing this, and the inflammation started going down in my body, my skin significantly got better. And I already had great skin from all the shit I do to my skin, all the oils and the serums and all of that. And I want to make sure, because this episode I know is like, I'm starting to feel insecure. Like it's getting longer than you really want to hear it. Like, oh, I've gone too far in the weeds and you guys really don't care. So I'm going to shift into like my top 3 skin things for you. And if you want me to do another episode on body stuff, I'm happy to. But I never like going too far into the weeds. If you're like, Bish, we just wanted to hear the overview. But I have a feeling you guys are like me and you want like the fucking details. I love knowing all the things. I don't know if it's a Virgo thing or the fact that I interview people for a living. I don't know. I want to know all the tea. So that's what I took. I just want to be clear, and I've never hidden that, and it doesn't fucking matter. You take a fucking peptide. If it's safe for you to take that, then fucking take it. That's not you needing a crutch. There's nothing wrong with you. You know, there's people who will say to me now, "Oh, so did you do the shot?" You're damn fucking right I did. Abso-fucking-lutely. Whatever it takes, as long as it was self-honoring, not me doing illegal horse pills, whatever it takes, because I deserve to feel good in my body. That's what I want you to focus on. You just want to feel good in your body. You want to, period. Keep it really fucking simple. We overcomplicate things, and simple always is the best route to go. And for the skin is the same thing. That has been my motto. What's funny is my motto for the skin is now my motto for the body. And I never thought about the connection. And it's also my motto for making a shit ton of money. Simple sells, complexity repels, baby. I'm all simple is the way to go. Simple is sustainable. And we overcomplicate it because we get marketed to, we get shiny object, and a lot of people won't wait long enough for something to work. And then you go back to your story of, oh, it's not working. I was on trizepatide. I did Ozempic for 2 months. I didn't lose any weight and it's not working. So I stopped. Oh, I did that gut health protocol and it didn't do anything. Oh, really? How long did you do it for? Because I fucking did it for 6 months. Like every fucking day, clockwork, had alarms set on my phone, whether I was coaching, I was podcasting, I was speaking somewhere, I was launching. My top priority. Whatever your top priority is, whatever you're giving your time, energy, money, and attention to, that's where you're going to see the results. It is that simple. The skin, let your fucking skin breathe. All of the influencers, if you look at them, and I'm not trying to throw shade, I wish they'd listen to Auntie Tiff, okay? They're looking so much older than their age, and it's not, I've seen them with bare skin. It's not just because they're, using a heavy makeup and that can make you look older. Your skin needs to fucking breathe. And there's a lot of chemicals, even in natural makeup, there's a lot of chemicals in our makeup and an inflammatory response. And you're constantly covering your skin with makeup and you're not having it soak in nutrients regularly. It does age your skin without a fucking doubt. And probably because I have the ability to work from anywhere and wear whatever I want for quite some time now. And I don't love wearing makeup. I'm excellent at doing makeup. I have no idea how to do hair. I wish I did, but I'm excellent at it. And once I have it on, I'm like, oh, okay. I look really good. Like I like that feeling. But the first thing I do when I come home from somewhere or get back to the hotel room, all that shit's coming off. All of it. And I want you to look at what you're putting on for makeup. If you're someone who's like, oh, I love wearing makeup every day, I want to wear it every day, it makes me feel good, that's great. I want you to be more particular about what you're putting on your skin. Shout out Origins, not sponsored. Origins is an OG. I have been using Origins for 15 fucking years. I could buy any product there is, and I use stuff that is totally affordable to most all people. Origins is at a very fair and reasonable price point. You can go look it up. Their tinted moisturizer with SPF is, if I were to say my holy grail product, it's that. Now, depending on your skin color, okay? So if you're someone, if you have olive skin, you're black, you're even super pale, you could get away with it too, because you can mix the tinted moisturizer with like a white moisturizer. I would not necessarily recommend using that. But L'Oreal has this glow serum. I should have brought it over here so I knew exactly what it was. I'm spacing on it. They have multiple shades, and that's my second favorite. And I will mix that with a white like moisturizer or a white SPF in order to get like a shade that I like, you know, and so I feel, and it's like a glowy, dewy. Think of when you look at a baby, like that skin, it's very plump, it's very juicy, it's very moisturized. The matte look can make you look a lot older. And so I focus on anything that is going to nourish my skin, and I keep it simple where it's something that I can do. And I don't even wear that tinted moisturizer all day. But what I always do wear is SPF, and I use, I wash my face in the morning with a combination of coconut oil and either a sulfur wash or a benzoyl peroxide wash because I'm acne prone. So I like Panoxyl. The sulfur wash I have prescribed, but you can find a sulfur wash. It stinks, but it doesn't like stink on your skin all day because you're washing it off. And that's what I use in the morning. And then I put on an SPF, and then on top of that, I do grapeseed oil. There are a couple oils natural oils, cold pressed oils that do not clog your pores. And the Kardashians dermatologist is my dermatologist, Dr. Lancer, super famous. You can look him up. All right. He's like Ryan Seacrest dermatologist. And he's the one I went to when I had really severe cystic acne. I mean, I spent probably 10, 15 grand clearing my skin. He's the one who taught me that you stripping your skin of oil is making your acne worse. And he said, and I was like, okay, what serum do you want me to use? And he has his own products, and I love his line. I was like, listen, I would have paid $1,000 for whatever I needed to. He's like, oh, high quality cold pressed grapeseed oil. I'm like, what? Headed over to Sprouts. I was like, this is crazy. It's like $9. I use that every day, face, neck, and chest. And I will wear that lotion plus the grapeseed oil even while I'm going to Pilates, even while I work out. I don't give a shit if I'm going to sweat it off. I want that on first thing in the morning, period, end of story. So that is every day. And then I would say another great tip that I've been doing since high school. And what's funny is no one fucking taught me this. I don't know where the fuck I got it from. Honestly, it probably came from me being a type C person, because I find putting moisturizer on at like after a shower or a bath, it's a lot of fucking work. And Bish is tall, and I have long ass legs, and I like to sleep in, and it was way too much work. And so I started, because there wasn't like all the different oils at that time, but I started putting Johnson's baby oil on in the shower, right when I was ending my shower, I put it on like neck to toe. And yes, my shower was slippery, so be careful, but I didn't give a fuck. And then that would stay on my skin as my pores were open. So now I use natural oils. I'll either use coconut, shea oil, shea butter oil. Palmer's is an excellent brand. I'm a big fan of Palmer's. That shit is not expensive. Okay. You don't need to buy all this other shit. If it really delights you, fine. But a lot of that expensive shit is bullshit and it's a waste of money. And so that's going on neck to toes. And I have been doing that truly since high school. Like that's how I will shave. I am oiled up. I'm oiled up to the point where like there's oil spots in my house. It's about the moisture. And I know there's a lot of fear around that because there's certain things you've used that have broken you out. But it's about the discipline of it and the moisture. And it's about the final thing I'll wrap up with is exfoliation. And I don't mean who remembers the apricot walnut scrub that like every fucking millennial used. That shit is so fucking terrible. Do not use an insane exfoliator, okay? Like that's going to actually create micro tears in your skin and not in a like microdermabrasion way, all right? I am talking about an exfoliant, more so like super fine sand. Um, I use Dr. Lancer's line that he has, and you can easily like Google that. But you don't have to use even something like that. I'm sure like Oil of Olay and even drugstore brands have a gentle exfoliator, and you are exfoliating your face, neck, and chest, and it's not once a week. So now I'm probably down to 3 times a week, but like I would say every other day, and you might have to build up to it. Okay. The heavy guns that I use a retinol, prescription strength retinol. I think technically it's called a retinoid when it's prescription strength. So you have to get it from your dermatologist and it's fucking worth it. And some of you are like, I tried it and my skin can't tolerate it. Listen, just like how I'm doing trizepatide, you have to microdose it. You have to use a tiny amount and mix it with moisturizer and then do it every other day and build up to it. The shit fucking works. Period. End of story. Face, neck, and chest. And I'm now starting to do my shoulders because I baked in tanning beds for so fucking long that I don't like how my shoulders are looking. And I'm doing now my hands because no one ever taught me the importance of doing the back of your hands. I neglected that, and we're not about this life. I don't want scary old woman hands, okay? And the other thing that I started doing in this year and a half period that's different, and I don't do any fillers, by the way. So no fillers. And I've been doing Botox since I was 25. And I do less Botox now. In fact, recently there's no Botox in my forehead. That's that's a whole nother wackadoo story. But I don't get like I did try Botox in my neck, and I think it might be now indicated for the neck. And let me tell you something. And not it wasn't the brand Botox. There's like competitor brands too. You have like tech neck lines. That shit really works, but you've got to go to someone who knows what they're doing. So that's the big guns. All right. So I do the injectables in that sense, but I do not do filler. Why don't I do filler? Because Bish is going to get a facelift someday. And every plastic surgeon I've talked to, which I coach a lot of them and their business stuff, a lot of my friends are plastics because of my other business. They all say not to do a bunch of fillers because it makes the facelift much more difficult. And I don't want it to be difficult for anyone doing it. So that's my reasoning. But if it delights you to do it, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with fucking doing it. And the other thing that I've done recently, I'm getting my third session of it done. Is it this week or next week? 'Cause you have to do them 6 weeks apart. Is I'm doing microneedling. And not just any microneedling. I'm talking like where you are going to an RN, you are going to a registered nurse, people who like not going to some like random like esthetician. And nothing wrong with estheticians, but like you're going deep where they're not allowed to go that deep in most countries, and as deep as they feel you can tolerate, and to where I look nuts. I don't know if you've seen it in my Instagram stories. I've shared it and I'll share this next one. So make sure you're watching my Instagram stories. I also am starting to share a lot of my skin products and stuff on there. So make sure that you're watching. But I mean, I looked insane. Like I looked like someone tore the first layer of skin off my face. And I'm getting face, neck, and chest. And I'm doing it every 6 weeks. And then I'm going to do the maintenance on it. So, with everything I shared with you today, and truly with every area of this 2026 Glow Up series, and your identity work, your money work, your business work, your body work, your brain work, all of it, if you do not keep it simple and create it in a way and set it up in a way where you're going to be dedicated to it and consistent with it, it's just not going to work. And those of you who are like, God, I'll start and I'll stop. That's the old identity you. That's not who you are anymore. And you're going to set it up differently now. You're going to have guardrails of accountability of people that you hire. You are going to catch yourself. You're coming at it from a different angle, a different perspective, in a different way, and come at it from your new identity, because your old identity is going to get you more of your old results. And we're not available for that. This is not happening in 2026. Your new identity keeps it simple. Because I know when you look at people, and I mean, maybe I'm one of them now, where you're like, oh my God, she must be genetically blessed. Tiffany has such great skin. She's rich, so she probably like uses all the most expensive, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's not true. Now, do I think that I have good skin genes? Oh, my grandma looked fucking great at 98. So I did inherit the good skin genes and eyebrow genes, but not the body situation, because of having complex PTSD. Mostly that inner work had to be done. But if I didn't do all of this stuff consistently, that's why I'm saying you pick two prime areas of the 6-part series we're doing. And that's what you focus it in on, not what you think you need to have, not what you need to do so someone else feels good about you or you feel it. None of that. What are you truly sick and tired of? What is it that you're done with? And you're going, you know what? I deserve to feel good in my skin. I deserve to feel good in my body. I deserve to live the lifestyle that I want to live. What are those things? I would love to know. Please share your takeaways from this and DM me on Instagram at Project Me with Tiffany. Also, if you're on my Secret Posse Weekly Digest email list, you can reply to any of our emails. And I love hearing your replies. It means so much to me. That's free to get on. Look at it like this is my private Substack. This is where I share like real personal shit, like stuff that I do not share publicly. And you can sign up for that inside of my show notes as well. And all the other resources are in there. So your takeaway are you're picking your two things, and then you're not out of your old identity, your new identity, the new version of you, the 20, what we're doing now. Who do I need to hire and what do I need to do so that I have the proper direction and guidance, and I show up and I remain consistent, and it's not self-will. Self-will is a scam from your ego. So if that comes in, you should be able to do this on your own. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. No, you shouldn't. I haven't done any of this shit on my own. Nothing in my life have I done on my own. Period. And any time I said I'm going to do it on my own, it didn't work. That's why I don't even bother anymore. There's no point. Let's set ourselves up for success from the beginning. But I'd love to know, what are your two areas? So for accountability, DM it to me. Share this series with anyone who you know is like, you know what? I want my life to be different. I want to feel different. Maybe you're at a turning point in your life. Maybe you went through a divorce. Maybe your kids are out of the house. Maybe you're in perimenopause. Maybe you just went through a breakup. Maybe you are 25 years old and you want to make sure that you are designing your life in a way that feels so good to you and not buy into all the bullshit propaganda in the world. Good for fucking you. And maybe you're just sick and tired of having the repeat story again and again, and you've had it and you want to take a radically different approach. The approach that's actually loving, the approach that's not self-sacrificing. Not one thing did I fucking say here. Did I push, force, sacrifice, bleed, be miserable, sweat it out, pound it out. Not one of it did I say that. Nothing. I mean, I would say, and I'm not even uncomfortable with the microneedling at that level because they numb you. Okay. I mean, I do think the injections for Botox that's not super comfortable for me because my skin's really sensitive. But nothing did I say, oh, you've got to do this and you've got to go to boot camp and you've got to fucking do 2-a-days and you've got to eat tuna and you've got to count macros. No, you don't. And I want you to get the help that you need and what's appropriate for you. And you can answer that question. All right. I love you so much. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. And all the resources, my applications for my 2-month private business coaching program, my New Year's gift to you, my Walk into Wealth series, and my special New Year's sale on my Make More Work Less program and my Secret Posse Weekly Digest. All of that is inside the show notes and in the description here on YouTube. Thank you so much for all of your support, especially if you've been around during this last year and a half. It's been a fucking season, man. And those of you who've been around during this time, I've been sharing, or you go back and listen to podcast episodes. I've always been transparent about all of it. It wasn't some magic trick that I did. It's active manifesting. And you guys being here, whether you're my client, you're an avid listener of the show, you share the show with people, you've come to my live events. I really genuinely appreciate your support, even energetically. It's held me up on more days than you realize when I wanted to give up. Love you.